I've raced this bike a few times now. I don't think I've ever changed the oil. So today I'm going to change the oil. There's the drain plug, I think. And I'm going to change the oil filter. I don't think I've ever done that either. And then I'm going to take this cover off and replace the clutch springs today, because the clutch seems like it's a little challenged grabbing. So while I'm doing the oil and everything else today, it's a good time to finish off this project. These are the parts that I'm going to install for the clutch, just to document what I have. Just 4 clutch springs, should be pretty simple. And then I also have an extra gasket in case I tear the one that's on there. That's a backup. Notes to myself about the drain plug is 13 millimeters. Oh, 13 millimeters it is. Gonna loosen that and drain it out. That was tightened down pretty tight. So pull this out. And I believe there's an oil filter, yep, as part of the drain plug. So that is not something I've seen on other bikes, but we'll put that aside here and let the oil drain out. Yeah, looks kind of old. Some of the extra things I have to do is remove safety wire because this is a racer. And then I'm gonna go around every other bolt and take out the 8 millimeter bolts that hold the side cover on. Here's the oil filter that I'm going to use. This is a high flow HF 118, so I can remember in the future what I need to order before doing the job. On the drain plug, it does not have a crush washer. It has a rubber O-ring. Just a future note for consumable purposes. I cleaned the metal screen out with a magnet just to get any particles out. It does filter from the inside, so what was on the outside here is what got through this filter. Well, the bad news is I took the cover off for the oil filter. It is not the same size as the oil filters I had inside. So the Benelli does not use an HF 118 oil filter. Apparently this is for something else in my garage. That is what happens when you have too many damn motorcycles. So I will put the oil filter back in and put that back on, and we will just forget that I ever even mentioned we were going to do that. Took the 2 bolts out and removed the clutch cable. I'm going to tuck this away. And now I am going to leave the oil line connected. No point in removing that. And I'll take the rest of the bolts out of the case. Okay, I have taken the cover off and just kind of set it aside. I noticed the color of the oil down here. There is some dirt and grime accumulated at the bottom of the cover. Gravity, right? So I will clean that out with a paper towel and get some of the extra stuff that the oil filter doesn't get out of the mix. Okay, clutch. I need to take the 4 bolts off and take the lifter plate off and replace the clutch springs. That's all I'm doing today. Actually, what I am going to do is take the outer hub out because I want to see what the plates actually look like. I don't think they're worn out and need to be replaced at this point, but I just want to take a look. Okay, I took the springs out. There's the springs. Interesting note is that in the clutch pack, it looks like there's a row for a 6th plate that could be installed in there. I know SMR makes a 6-plate clutch for this instead of the 5 that's in it, but if I push the center back, looks like there's plenty of room for another plate. It would change the adjustment range there, but interesting finding. Anyway, I'm going to take the nut off. So I want to take the clutch out and look at the plates. Yeah, I need more air pressure. Okay, the air compressor needs to charge up. Okay, the nut came right off with the air compressor charged up, so I can take this clutch pack out. And then I want to look at how the plates are stacked in there. That's why we have the drain pan. Okay, there we go. Looks pretty good. These are completely radial. That was a question about the SMR clutch pack, because they rotate or sweep around, but these are completely radial. So on a stock clutch, there's not that consideration. I'm gonna note this for the future in case I go with the other clutch pack. I have put in the new clutch springs, taken out the old ones, and I am just hand tightening everything here with the lifter plate on, and slowly go around and tighten everything up. Make sure the springs are seated flat and even. So far, so good. Down evenly set. Looks like the springs are good and it's not slipping. You can put the cover back on and start putting the bolts back in. One little bitty challenge was clearing the brake pedal, but with that done, it did slip in and get the cover back on. Okay, reminder, there is no oil in this. I'm gonna have to fill it up. Last piece here, I put the clutch cable back on, reattached it, putting the plate back on. I should not have to adjust the clutch slack much, if any, from taking this off. Then I will go back and tighten up all the bolts by hand. But the clutch is back together. Let's run around here, try the clutch. Yep, that feels correct. So, put some oil in it, time to ride.